How are we doing? How are we doing? Dirty Octopus, I'm gonna delete your message in Discord. What's up? What's up? Check. Is the audio good? I don't know why it's such a meme that you guys are like on time challenge. One second. I gotta make the announcement on Insta real quick, and then we can do some feedback. In the meantime, what kind of ideas are we bringing today? What's up? What's up, Azura? Hello, what's up, Mari? Also, what do you guys think of the Divided release from last week? Because I actually really like this one. YouTube stream. There we go. That's done. It was good. You're listening to it right now, so. There we go. That was sick? Yeah. It is very sick. So K-Backs. I also forgot to set up the SoundCloud thing, but bomb. That's just like how purple it is. Purple is a great color. That being said, it's time for the feedbacks. Also, let me check the camera real quick. Is the camera angle okay? Is this suitable? You get the Kyokon reaction. Say walk one every Brit. True. It is true though. A lot of Brits say it. Although a lot of French say it as well. Very strange. Mickey Mouse. All right, let's send it. Future House Cloud. Wait, I've heard this one before because I know this comment. Why are you sending this now, Mickey? I mean, I guess it's like a, I don't know, chat reaction. Okay. More transition.
A little, that is what they said when you turn around and left for good. But the taste is bitter, lonely in my bed, keep thinking about what we was at, it's true.
I mean, I don't think you've made any changes in the last 4 months since you sent me this version. But I will say, like, I think this just needs more highs. I think just based on the waveform, I can tell you need some more compression and like controlling of your buses and stuff. and probably there's some phase issues in the leads. Not big ones, but ones that will, if you fix them, will get you more loudness. And then, really for me, like, the drop is fine. It sounds like if you bounce drop, it's cool. The main issue for me is the breaks, which this piano with vocal doesn't really work for me. And, like, throwing in MHA Atmos doesn't count. Like, they don't really mean anything. Aside from just, like, extra setting the mood, it's like, I need to hear stuff going on here. Because, like, even... It's like, it's cool, but we need, like, melodies or drums. Because if you're going to do drums, you can definitely do something that's more engaging than this. Like, really, if you're going to leave it empty with, like, no other melodics, switch it up to perks. Fill the space with perks or some kind of rhythmic element. Just to get movement. Or if you want it to be a little more chilled out and melodic and, like, emotional, then, you know, add extra melodies, add extra layers, do some more cool stuff. It doesn't even have to be, like, crazy, like some crazy melody that's going on all the time. Just, like, stuff that's going on that's, like, you know, a little 2 notes here or a note there, or, like, something that's actually, like, going on so that it keeps the breaks engaging. The breakdown is okay as well, but here I think you really need, like, an ARP or, like, some sort of extra melody playing alongside this. Yeah, we've all heard this before. So I hope that helps. A Green Dragon and Omega, start of collab. Okay. Okay, Discontent, I'm not gonna hate your submission if it doesn't have a piano in it. You'll be fine. Need more sub bass. There's a couple of things that it definitely needs mix wise, but I have a feeling this is, like, still very much like a starting ID, so I'm not gonna go too hard in the mix. Okay, so I had a whole bunch of feedback, but I'm gonna start off. The first thing, eardrop, it's a cute little thing. Take this section here, this part that goes, that whole, like, whatever it is, 4 bars, delete everything else in your drops, all your other whatever, copy that, paste it multiple times, and make that phrasing or like arrangement your whole drop. Because this is much so much more interesting than any of the other stuff you had, and I think it's a shame to just keep it for like this pre-drop thing. Just make it the whole drop. You can include also this if you want, but as like a sort of A/B feeling thing. But yeah, you might as well just have the base in there. Anyone want chicken sandwich? All the time. But I haven't found a chicken sandwich where I live that's like compares to the good old US of A chicken sandwich. Maybe I will, but so far I haven't. The other big thing for me is the drums in the whole track feel kind of meh. These drums are just okay. Like the drop drums are, the kick and the clap are just okay, but I think you can definitely find more tailored versions. They sound fine with this mix, but I think as soon as you actually upgrade the mix and make it fat and saturated and nice and like appropriate, the drums will feel very weak. So I would already say find more fat and like interesting drums. Aside from the kick and clap, the other thing that's really bothering me is this. I understand that we want perks in the break. This is good. But putting a clock sample randomly in there doesn't actually like solve your problem, which is that you need movement. I'm not saying clock samples are bad. One, this is the wrong clock sample for this vibe. And two, it's just there and it doesn't feel like it's working with anything else that's going on. Like here, it should be like maybe if you're going to go for a clock sample, it should be like a grandfather clock or something that's working more. Should do more gaming streams. Yes, we should do more of our infamous gaming streams. Yeah, another clock sample in Future Bounce Tracks. That's the other thing, is it's very generic. And we have all done it. And again, it can work sometimes. Sometimes it's okay, but I really want to stray away from all the things that have been all doing everything that's been done before the same way, and like, you know, do some stuff the same, but try and do a lot of stuff that's like gonna be different. And like also it just doesn't serve the track here to have clock samples. Another thing is transitions. Again, I understand like you're starting this idea. I can tell it's just like you guys haven't gotten that far into the production, but this needs a transition. This needs an actual transition. And like, you know, find ways, do it best when you're like in the middle of the production. You haven't like locked in too much stuff, because this is sort of when you can have a chance to really be creative with your arrangement and do things that are kind of weird, but then you can build off of and build the segments you have sometimes around the transition points where like, I want to have this cool transition, and so I'm going to do this segment, you know, design it in a certain way so that it leads properly into this transition, instead of making a segment and then trying to find a weird way to connect it to the next bit that you want to do. I don't know if I said this before, but change the lead in your drop if you're going to keep this. This lead has to be a completely different lead. The melody, I think, is okay. And I think the bass, when you mix it properly, will be okay. But get rid of this lead and change it for something different, because this lead sounds really bad. I'm going to be... I don't know why I'm feeling so, like, harsh with Future Bounce now, but, like, prepare the stream. I might be a bit cold. FL Studio multiplayer. That would actually be really fun. Some filtered Future House top loops. I guess. Can you please set up the submission look closer to the actual stream? Only got like 4 hours. Yeah, I'll think about it. I'll figure out a way to like yeah, to make sure that it's closer. I may also like set it up so that people only submit during the stream. My only worry is then like people forget, or like, because I know people do submit and then like remember like, oh yeah, I submitted, I want to go to that stream. So sort of a decision making thing there. But I may in fact do the thing. You are pretty early in queue though. Yeah, you're like 5th or 6th in queue, Discontent. So like that idea. Only submit during stream. All right, if you guys like it like that, I'm perfectly happy to do it that way. Yeah, Green Dragon, I hope that helps you with your collab. Beep, 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 beep. Yeah. This is me when I'm producing music and I'm trying to figure out how to get my kick to work. It's very fun. Roses, I tried to do something XD. If you say I tried to do something, I'm expecting that you tried to do something that isn't something we've heard before, so I'm excited.
I'm holding on to you. Take let me go for a good. I'm waiting on your move, so I can find out which true. To set me free from all that ache. You better words is all I take. To set me before now. I was giving you one more shot, was no mess it up. Never rose around the blaze, we're caught it up. I never let get your love.
Okay. The transition actually looks really nice. Nice texturing as well. Good job.
I'm holding on to you. Take let me go for a good. I'm waiting on your move, so I can find out which true. To set me free from all that ache. You better words is all I take. To set me free, don't break me more than you did before now. I was giving you one more shot, was mess it up. I never let get your
I'm not dead. I'm not dead. I'm just thinking. Okay, Mike X, congratulations. This is actually pretty interesting. Okay, I'm getting tinnitus though. That's cool. This is cool. Summary vibes. I like this. Please like finish the track, do more stuff with this. I like hearing you do new stuff. It's exciting. Now we've heard this, like obviously it's not like inventing a new style, but it's just like not something that we've all heard a billion times before. At least in this way. I would say really to finish this track, I think the breaks need to be a bit more rearranged. The drop sounds are good. I will say the melody, you definitely want to get something like rework it, make it a bit catchier. You can even make it simpler, because right now it's just like a lot of notes going everywhere. So I'd say like overall my feedback is going to be just like make the whole thing more minimal to suit the vibe. Like you don't actually need to do that much. Get something that's, you know, a melody with less notes but the right notes, and I think you will have a really good track. I think I saw Vite mention this earlier, but the drop is a little too weak for the build. I think the build is just coming off too strong. I think you can shorten the build to like 4 bars, and just have like a really light roll or something, I don't think you need. I think my guess is you're used to doing future bounce buildups, which are a certain length. But for this tropical housey stuff, you can get away with doing something very short, or very soft and laid back. You don't need to do this like riser sweeping stuff as much. Really like the arrangement in this piece, like here. I would say here though, I would remove a lot of the lows and mids from the chords because they sound really boomy, and for a lot of tropical house stuff, you want it to sound pretty clean. Especially in the breaks, like you can really let it sound pretty thin because it's supposed to be very chilled out, and it'll make when you do bring in lows and mid and like low mids into the drop, then they'll sound like impactful and warm. We have a very dead chat today. Your voice is quieter than the music, like when it's playing at the same time, or just in general. Because if it's just in general, I don't know what I'll do. Will be GG. Actually, wait, let me see if I can. I'll just turn up my voice. Is that better? Is that more better? What about Adidas? How to do like live leveling in general? Yeah, true. What's up, Stripes? Yes, bro. Play song. Okay. I remember something else. Speaking of vocals, it's actually really good of Kara. You're doing the transition for me. The last thing is the vocal here is way too loud compared to what's going on. I know it's sort of meta in pop music, like make the vocal blasting loud. It's like very commercial right now to have a very loud vocal, but I think this is also like pretty loud. I think you can scale it back. Like leveling wise, just take 3-4 dB off and it'll actually sit in the mix, like a little over the mix, and not be like making the mix sound super quiet. Might still be able to raise like 1.5 dB. I think I just gotta talk louder. I think I'm just super. I'm kind of tired right now. I did not do many sleeping, so I think if I just talk a bit more louder, will be good. Yeah, I hope that helps Mike X, but yeah, please finish it. It's nice to hear what is going on here. We have entered a whole different dimension. Guys, I think it's gonna be future bounce. Let's give this a listen. I'm very curious now. I feel like I just listened to Redstone. I was like an ambulance getting tailgated by Venom in a 2006 Honda Civic. Okay, can you see if my ID is there? I will check briefly if your ID is there. Probably it's somewhere. Yeah, it's in there. It's in there. Putting it in my lo-fi playlist. True. I'm flabbergasted because that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what schizophrenia sounds like, just sped up a bit. I actually like this piece here. So you actually have some consistency going, and it's not just like noise basically. Like I don't want to be like offensive, but like there's so many really truly random feeling things happening that it just feels like noise and like crazy stuff going on. But once you have some like consistency there, it starts to actually the randomness starts to feel like it has more of a purpose, and it's like the randomness is orbiting around the kick and doing some stuff. So I like that. Japanoise, I think, is the genre. Ooh, okay. How the fuck are you using feedback? I'm trying, Pierce. I'm trying. All right, and we're following up with Dirty Oculus. Why 5 months? Why you guys send me old ass shit? I mean, maybe you guys are like gonna finish them and you want help, but like, I'm curious. Why do you guys send me old stuff? Okay. Okay. You guys are flattering me in chat. Actually, just start a full chain. If Kyokan has no fans, then that means I'm no longer on Earth. That would be a pretty fun screenshot, just Kyokan army. The city of Kyokan. It's like in the dozen memes. I'm fighting the city of Kyokan. Okay, Dirty Octopus. The only thing I really, really want out of this is just needs like traditional DMB perks and hats, and it will sound really sick. But right now there's like you're sort of depending on the synths to do the rhythm stuff, and they're not really doing like a consistently rhythmic thing. So if you just add like really typical, like they can be the most generic D&B sounding like hats and top loops, and it will, because everything else is so unique, it'll sound really good. I think. I mean, obviously you'll I know you'll take and find like really textured stuff, but I think that would make the most sense. It's just like kick snare. Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be just kick snare. Like if you just have tops, it'll sound really sick. Because everything else is really cool. The only other thing that I'm like gonna be kind of picky about is this. If you're gonna do dun dun dun, dun, it also then needs to come back. So it should be AB, not A B C D, whatever this chop is, because it just kind of like kills the energy. Weirdly enough, bringing in energy for a very short period of time and then like not bringing it back in like an arranged way makes it really clear like how sort of a low energy we go, and it just, I don't know, it feels weird to me. It feels like you go dum 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 dum, like, and then just come back and like do that a couple times, and it'll have like shape and a flow to it. If Kyokan have no fans, then he have no fans. True. If Kyokan has 1 million fans, then I have 999,999 clones. Okay, actually, this is like a totally unrelated music question, but have you guys watched like Star Wars Clone Wars? Because that is a fantastic show. If you don't like Star Wars and you were gonna watch one piece of Star Wars media, aside from the trilogy series, which is its own sort of legendary status, I would say watch Clone Wars because it's great. Ooh. Dang, okay, this looks sick. Did you like make this discontent, or is this like art that you found and then pasted your name over with Drop Shadow? No. Made it last night? Sick. Super cool. Alright, let's take a listen. So I did this last night. Instead of way too late making the art. Oh, this answered my question already, but dang, that's really sick. The rhythm of this feels slightly off somehow, and I'm not sure why. Okay, we're running into the same problem here, Discontent, where you have like ideas that could realistically be like 2 drops worth of sounds. If you just like literally just like take the different sounds and just shift them over here, you could make an entire drop out of like half of these sounds, and then just repeat the stuff you have here. Like make it like that, condense it. Because right now it's actually hard to follow the actual, there's not like one idea. You have a bunch of sounds and they're all kind of doing different stuff. If they were like slight variations of the same sound, it might be much better, but they're all kind of want to do different things, it feels like. So yeah, I would say really in this case, it's about picking the best stuff and moving everything else to a different part of the project, and you can always reuse it later. The worst case is you don't reuse it at all, and then you haven't lost anything. But reuses all that sounds in MHASN. Reused all the sounds? Yeah. I would even end it here as well. I wouldn't even do you can even just cut it and then move this other stuff forward. Yeah, like the vibe is here. In fact, with all the stuff the vibe is there. It's just, yeah, not even refining it, but just simplifying it, or like removing the stuff that you actually don't need. Other than that, I mean, like, intro's cool. This beginning reminds me of a Niptane track. No. Where is it? This one. That beginning. It has the same feeling of in here. It just sounds like you took that sound and made it the main sound, whereas there it's just a stab. You hear that Killers in the Jungle? Absolutely. We love to be killers in the jungle. Also, again, Pog art. Very nicely done. Run Out of Love remix. Okay, let's go. Remix? No mix or master. We cry. No mix, no master, no limiter. Very sad. How did we listen? Kyokan, why do you know literally every track? I don't know that I know every track. I just like listening to music, so I hear a bunch of stuff. There's people who are way crazier than me at like identifying tracks. I am every track, yes. All right, see ya, discontent. Goodbye. We'll see you next week. Adios. I thought it said Adidos disconnect. I can read English, guys. Okay, let's take a listen to this.
Wish I was the one you crave. I wish there was another way. Well, shame on me, 'cause I'm the fool for wasting dreams of me and you. Nothing else that I can say, but I wish I didn't feel this way. I gave my all, but you're not mine. Heaven knows I tried. I should let it go. Know that I should walk away, but something pulls me back to you. And no matter what I do, sleeping with your ghost. Yeah, I'm calling out your name. It's the only thing that I can do. Till an hour left to waste on you. Till an hour left to waste on you. Till an hour left to waste on you. I wish that I could turn it off and get back all the time I lost. I gave you everything I had, thought that you would be my last. I'll cry through the chaos and push through the pain, and maybe I'll find who I was someday. I should let it go. Know that I should walk away, but something pulls me back to you. And no matter what I do, sleeping with your ghost. Yeah, I'm calling out your name. It's the only thing that I can do. Till an hour left to waste on you. Hour left to waste on you. Till an hour left to waste on you. Hour left to waste on you. Hour till an hour left I should let it go. Know that I should walk away, but something pulls me back to you. And no matter what I do, sleeping with your ghost. Yeah, I'm calling out your name. It's the only thing that I can do. Till an hour left to waste on you.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, you definitely need a mix and a master on this, but I'm not gonna go too crazy on it because if you haven't started on it yet, like you're gonna do all the things that I would tell you anyway. So I'm gonna focus on the other stuff. Really, for me, the idea is cool. What I would love to hear though is, I don't know if this makes sense, but layer. Okay, maybe this is just like my style of stuff that I like doing, but layer more little like melodies across these breaks. Like you have these breaks where it's like you just have like a stop, and sometimes a stop is good, just silence. But one in the stop, you should put like a reverse or something that's not only like creating space, but also then creating more anticipation. So a little reverb reverse, or maybe even a different sound that's like doing some kind of reversey, exciting thing, pulling you into the next hit. But then also you have these like drum hits, which are cool on their own. But I think if you layer across the whole drop, like more like tiny melodies, or like little sections where you have like a bar where this like melody is just like going on like in the left ear, it'll layer really nicely with these drum hits where it doesn't just sound like the drum hits are on their own. you can create a more layered and interesting track. Because for as much as this is quite cool, I've heard a lot of this before, and it sounds a bit, I don't want to say underwhelming, but it's like, I kind of very much know what I'm expecting, and I think you can do more to like really make the remix stand out. You cannot melodic dubstep future bass chord. Yeah, it's an art in its own. Alright. I am reading chat and my brain cannot just add lots of notes. Yeah, you maybe did do a lot of wacky music, Dirty Octopus. If you bring the wacky stuff, if you brought like 10% or like 20% of your wacky stuff to like an average production though, it would sound really crazy, Dirty Octopus. Because you would really get the 10% wacky stuff will do a lot. It's like adding a really strong like spice to your food. You don't need a lot of it, just the little bit already changes up the whole dynamic. I wrote other stuff in here, and yeah, for some reason here it's just like these sustained piano-y chords, and one, they muddy up the mix, and two, it doesn't really make sense why they're there. So I don't know if it's like something that was accidentally pasted into a layer, or like you're trying to get like a different vibe, but I don't think it fits with everything else going on in there. I was gonna comment on the vocal mix, but you said that you're using the wet vocals anyway, so you'll fix that. That's really it. I think if you layer the drop with more cool stuff, more cool little melodies, or like even like ad-libs of the vocals, and just in my opinion, future bass dubstep, you need a really strong and simple fundamental, but then the real distinguishment between an average cool track and a really good track that stays with you and that you really listen to often is all about details. It's all about getting in there and making it so that you can hear the track, 100 times and it doesn't get old. It's not like, okay, and then comes the and then, that's a terrible explanation, but I hope you get something out of it. Alright, so this is for a school project. Tried to keep it clean. I made to screenshot. Okay. But I'm not sure what I'm supposed to say to that, but Skybreak vocals, no pre-drop fill yet. Okay. Colorful to start.
I've been searching for something to hold on to. I noticed I'm broken, the shards of my youth. I could be hiding away again, pretending to feel content instead. I'm dreaming, I'm reaching my untold truth. Our souls are broken too. My spirit is fragile, made of glass, and I'm distracted by the past. Or searching for my truth.
Cool. Doc Street. Most are coming in here with the big depresso doggo. Heard spectral noise? You probably did.
I've been searching for something to hold on to. I noticed I'm broken, the shards of my youth.
This is cool. This is definitely cool. Shark sample pack moment. Shh, shh, don't tell them. You're not supposed to tell them that we get all our samples from sample packs. The shark sample pack is great though. I definitely recommend if you guys are looking for color stuff, go take a look at it because you'll get some pretty soft stuff. Terra is just a melodic color base. You could say the inverse as well. I'm gonna try to make color base soon. Just go for it, yeah. You'll learn a lot. Your first tracks will suck, but like they just won't have the right mix quality unless you use like a lot of samples. Here I'm gonna say two things for feedback. So one, the biggest one for me, the ideas and all the sounds you're using are really cool, but the flow doesn't really fit this arrangement. It's like an experimental flow. One of the things when I was trying to figure out how to do dubstep and melodic dubstep and future bass, well, really melodic dubstep, which is, you know, color bass, I would say is like very much related to. Some might say color bass is under the umbrella of melodic dubstep. It doesn't really matter. The flow is really important. Like realistically, everything sort of depends on how you set up the flow of your drop. And once you have an established, really solid flow, and when I say flow, I mean like literally a flow of like how the sounds are gonna go. And if you listen to Kotari is a really good example of like really good like flows. In the same way that a rapper has a flow, dubstep track has a flow. You listen to Zim, you hear the really creative end of like all the types of crazy flows you can do, but they're very cohesive. Here, okay. So you go from like one section of like one different flow to then suddenly like kind of a different kind of flow. And then it switches again to a different flow. And then it turns around in a way that doesn't really go off of what happened in the previous section. So for me, it needs to have a certain like like a flow to it of like you know, something that's a little simpler and like you can do it across the whole section. What about my sample pack? Guys, get VTA sample pack. Boom. Almost shark sample pack. It's under the umbrella of Riddim. Yeah, I mean we can go on forever about like what's under the umbrella of what. I didn't know. Triangle Alliance coming out with the brutality today. Okay, so that's flow. I would say like yeah, study some other flows and like try taking your sounds and just like copying other tracks' flows just so you get an idea of like what will it sound like to use these sounds. The other thing, it's a big one. When you're doing these chord things, layer pew pew like colorful chord samples. I'll literally show you an example from my own track. My remix of the In Your Arms track, which by the way, guys, I won that. I don't know what happened, but I literally did this in like a day, and I won somehow. So that's cool. But I did something similar where I had these like, you know, vocal chop thingies. It's different than what you're doing. Yours is more like stuttery, but the same logic should apply. Where I took a Mofolk sample, and I just like layered color stuff going under it. Here, I'll make this a bit quieter though, so it's fair. You guys hear the like the color stuff going on in the background? If you put that here as well, this section will sound really great. It just needs like more layering. Kyokon exclusive. You guys can go listen to it right now. This is the tuned up mix. So I got the chance to do some more mixing to it because I literally did this in a day. But you guys can go listen to the yeah. It's just the mix is not as good as here. Because I had to fix some stuff in it. Not again, get out of my head. My track lost. Unlucky. Paolo is having a moment. You good, Paolo? Is Certified Hood Classic? Going up to 3, yes. Is that a DDC? What? What is going on in chat? I don't know. Hopefully someone documents this. I really spent a lot of time saying very little. My bad. Layer chords, flow. That's really the biggest thing. Also, these break drums, you can sauce this up a little more in the mix. Get them a little more juicy, because right now they're super in the background. New melody shit, intro and break are not done yet. I like how we have to dedicate to like what specifically isn't done yet. It's like, hey, also know that my whole track isn't finished, and it will never be done, and therefore it's okay that it's bad. Well, that's not real, but there's a little bit of coping too. Yeah. Wait. Kyoganik's Doki Doki Literature Club? Does it have good music? French Catacombs. Imagine. A Tobu collab would be like not even real. My brain would implode if I got a Tobu collab. Paulo, can you spam a bit less though? I want to actually like read the rest of the chat without having to scroll a bunch. Cloud 911. That would be something. Alright, let's actually listen to Nari's track. I think it's Future Bounce. Overall, Nari, pretty good. Definitely, I think an improvement over some of the other stuff that you sent me. I can tell you're getting better. Really here, big stuff. Change the clap. I think the clap here sounds pretty weak compared to your kick. I know you said intro and break aren't done, but make them done, or at least like have some more stuff there. So like really easy stuff is like add a Reese bass. And maybe some of you guys are gonna hate me for it in chat, but like, you know what I mean? It fits the style, and at least it's better to have a Reese bass in there than to have nothing in there. So you can do a Reese bass. It'd be cool as well if you tried to do like some plucky bass, but a cool Reese works. No way my man got the hybrid country up tempo. Imagine. It's like some Bishu type of genre. Yeah, I mean, obviously this needs a mix. I think the lead is kind of generic. So I think you could do more stuff to layer in, like actually more interesting sounds. So layer in some organic sounds. My favorite is to layer in vocal chops and then use manipulator to warp the notes with MIDI, which sounds really cool. Other than that, yeah, just try presets from different genres. Do not. This is a discussion I was having actually in the Mountain General Discord server. I think it's very relevant to bring it up here. If you're going to make a genre that everybody and their mother has done, don't use the same presets or the same sounds that everybody has used over and over again. If you're going to make the genre, if you're going to make future bounce, if you're going to make progressive house, if you're going to make dubstep, the easiest way to do fresh things is just use drums from other genres. When you look for samples, don't look for future bounce samples. Look for samples from like reggaeton And it doesn't matter if they don't sound like Rents or if they don't sound like Bad Reputation, that's fine. Just try and make new stuff, and you'll find new things that work in the genre that no one else has done, that you didn't know would work before. Sick rate presets are good, right? Like, the thing is, like, sick rate presets are cool, but if you use them as they come out of the box, you're going to sound like everybody else who's used the sick rate presets, which isn't bad, but it's not, like, interesting. Use child samples. Okay. Dirty palm kick and clap. Yeah. I wonder what Dirty Palm thinks about the fact that, like, everybody thinks that, like, that kick is just, like, awful now. The, like, kick and clap combo. I don't think it's actually the fault of the thing. I think everybody just overused it. RGD build up fill. I don't even know what samples you guys are talking about. I'm, like, so out of the loop now with Future Bounce. I'm making too many other genres. The stab 3F, I know. The one. All right, let's find out who the one is. Good start. Guys, put out an MIA or like a lost and found poster. And yeah, put the sanctuary thing. We're missing the kick. It is gone. We can't find it anywhere. Oh my god, the spam is crazy today. What is going on in chat? This is Kulai. Sidechain. I think we need to, guys, I think this is Suture Rats. I think we should put that on a t-shirt. That just sounds like a t-shirt quote. It's like a really shit post t-shirt quote. Okay. I can already start giving you feedback, Jordan, because I think there's a lot of things that you do. One, and I don't mean this in like a patronizing way at all, but like go watch a bunch of YouTube tutorials on mixing. And if you want to make this genre, do go look at videos showing how to mix Future Bounce and stuff, because it feels like a lot of this stuff is pretty, these are like elementary things that you can really easily fix. You know, by just watching a few videos, because it's sort of like general production things. So like the kick is not here, and there's no sidechain, sounds like, or if there is, it's not strong enough at all. The clap is okay, but the leveling doesn't make any sense. One, because there's no sidechain, and two, I think it's just like not leveled properly. Yeah, other than that, a lot of the mixed stuff, yeah, is like there's lows. There's like a lot of lows, so the highs are actually okay. It's just the lows and low mids feel very bloated. Every time I alt tab into chat, there's a new chain going on. I see Paolo, Peter, Pierre's, and Vite. It's like the PPPV combo. Why am I being doxxed? Munich Spalding collab. What is going on? Of course, just saying actual zombie in the middle with no context is actually kind of hilarious. BT. Spalding has a place in North Korea. I did not know. Another thing, Jordan, is like you could probably just remove this intro and just cut straight to another thing is this vocal is forming. Just the vocal is just way too low. Like it should go up an octave because I cannot tell what this person is saying at all, and two, the doesn't sound very melodic because it's just in too low of a register. Like there are some vocals that sound really good low. This vocal is not one of them. At least not this low. Like easily 1 octave higher, maybe 2 octaves higher, it'll sound cool. Yeah. Balding is a place on your head. Yeah, bordering with the country of hairline. Is there anything else I can really... The vocal mixing feels weird. Feels like there's some resonant frequencies. Another thing as well, add drums to your breaks. It gives a lot of energy and stuff. And I think if you take care of that stuff, Jordan, you'll already have like a much improved track. So yeah. Fix the sidechain issue. Add some drums. Yeah, make the chords not quite so static because they sound very staticky right now. And I think if you tune the mix a little bit around to make the drop a little less bloated in the low mids, and you know, like remove vocal resonances, I think already you'll have a big improvement over what you've got here. Corrupts. What is this water or? It's like ice with water behind it in like a river. Really cool picture. Kyokun, you have an incoming call? Guys. The chat. The National Declaration of the 13th United States of America. When in the course of human events. Yeah. No context at all. Okay, let's listen to the next track. This is cool overall. Also, the mix feels a bit weird, but overall, it's a cool idea. Really, for me, the biggest like creative thing was just this. This like this it doesn't really. I don't know. I feel like the clap should come earlier, or it should like hit more often with the kick so that it actually leads into it. Wow, the chat spam, pretty funny. Other than that, I would say like I think you could change the clap. Yeah, other than that, I really feel like I just want to hear you extend the track more because everything that's here is pretty good. say the lead sounds a bit thin in a sense. It just sounds a bit thin, like it needs more organic layers, or like layers with like natural mids in them, because like just bringing up the mids in here I think won't give you what you're looking for. So I'd say bring up or like add layers with like more natural mids, which will sound pretty cool in my humble opinion. And I think already that will help a bit. The piano as well could have some lows and low mids taken out of it, because it sounds a bit, if you want it to sound warm, then this, you don't have to take out as much, but I think as it is right now, it sort of just makes it sound a bit like dull. Bro smoking on a good kush. Alright, West of Danger remix. Let's go. 2000 Guys, when do I come across as mean? I've never made this kind of music before. Also, okay, this is an interesting thing. If you guys don't want feedback, then like, you know what I mean? Like, don't send me your music, but like if you send me your music into a feedback stream, I'm gonna give you like feedback and like constructive criticism. So it seems interesting. Coco, will you take my hand in marriage? Any day, Vitae. Travel 2,000 kilometers, what's up, danger? What's up, danger? Didn't know they wanted us, mentioned that more marvelous. Sign them up for ominous vibes and I get synonymous. What's up, danger? Hey, don't be a stranger, cause I like hot chances that I might lose. I like it all on the edge, just like you. Hey, I like tall buildings so I can leap off of them. I go hard with it no matter how dark it is. I can keep the world balanced on my nose. I had to slumber hard with all my phones. I wear them like a badge on all my clothes. If I'm crazy, so when you call my phone, like what's up, danger? Okay, I'll say this snare sounds really weird here. Well, we'll check the second dropout in a bit, but the snare, just notes before I forget, snare sounds kind of weird. The lead has like a really big focus on like lows, like lower frequencies, like 400 hertz, it feels like. So I'd say bring that back a lot and like let the bass be for your 808s and stuff. And like maybe you'll need to layer or process more of the lead once you remove the 400, because it'll sound kind of like weak and like not that impressive anymore. But I think if you replace all that 400 super low mid stuff with mids and highs, it'll sound really good. One thing as well, a note for you guys, like if you're going to remove like a certain amount of, like a lot of frequency from a sound, distort it first so that you get harmonics from that resonance. If it's like a good resonance but it's overpowering, distort it first, then lower the volume of the resonance, because what resonances like, you know, you have that are like really big also affects the distortion and what harmonics you're going to get out of the distortion. If I had a feedback stream, I would be insulting every flaw in people's track that I can hear. Hey, I think there's definitely like a market of people who like want that. I know I certainly, when I send people stuff, I want them to be pretty particular, because I find it very useful when people are like particular. My feedback style is just like more, I like to pick a few things that I think are the most important and like, this is how I think you should fix them, or like ways you can fix them. This snare sounds so out of place here. know, you could really easily fit some strings in here, and it would sound really good. It would fit the trappy vibe. The snare loud, kick loud, yep. Kyokon, this is a 2-for-1 deal. We got you. Yes. At Kyokon. I'm like IKEA now, but for music. Is the mic actually muted? It's not. I've been debated. I've been fully debated. Very sad. My brain is leaving me. I think that's most of my feedback. I don't know that I have anything else to say. Like, yeah, add some strings, add some extra cool layers, some like chord fills maybe could sound cool. Other than that, like the vibe is cool. It's a cool idea. Yeah. The psychological tricks they'd be playing on us when we're driving. It's hard enough as is. My mom once said, "Don't you worry, child. I think heaven has got a plan for you." Can you guys tell that I'm really tired? Not of your music, just in general. Like in real life, I'm really tired. I have not slept in a bit. I am... Here, you want me to turn up the mic more? I'll turn it up more. Because I'm talking pretty quiet. More dBs. Let's go. People still say it sounds off. Yeah, I don't know. Alright, let's take a listen.
Try to let go out of the nonsense that you, or that you put me through. I give it all to you. I do it all for you. Maybe this feeling's overdue. Misunderstood how you got me so good, and you tried to get rid of the mess. I take it back to the moment I showed you my skies wasn't worth it. Or is it a regret? Try to let go out of the nonsense that you, or that you put me through. I give it all to you. I do it all for you. Maybe this feeling's overdue.
Nice.
Try to let go out of the
Is that
nonsense
a microwave bell?
that you, or that you put me through. How you got me so good at back to the moment I should have known. Try to understand how you got me so good, and you try to get rid of the mess. I take it back to the moment I showed you my skies wasn't worth it. Or is it a, or that you put me through?
So far, I think Afkar, this is the best Future Bounce one you've sent in. Aside from like the more like kawaii stuff, like of the pure like generic Future Bounce stuff, this is definitely the best one you've sent. And I think mostly it comes down to the melody's just good. It's just catchy. It's not, you're not trying to reinvent the wheel, but it's catchy and it's nice. I like your guitar stuff in here. Yeah, lean into that. Bring it also into the drop. Find a way to like, you know, use it as a turnaround in a bar or something. Like it'll help turn stuff around to be, you know, the drop is kind of generic. It's like, I'm sorry, but it's just, you know, we've heard all of this before. Good melody though, if you layer it with some other sounds underneath, you can at least separate it from the pack a little bit. Overall, very cool though. The mix is also good. In my opinion, it's lacking a little bit of like mids and warmth, but for Future Bounce, that's not always necessary. Some people really like the more like clean sound. So overall, like pretty good job. No, it's the Doom guitar. What do you mean? It's good. You stole my BPM. You copied Kinetic. The question is, who did Kinetic copy? Guys, this Nexus guitar tempo is off key. True. Yeah, also fix the vocal being off key. That is definitely a big, very big no-no. You are not allowed to do that. All right. Let me start this, and then at the same time I'll drag in some new tracks.
Don't wait up for me. I don't get lonely. Don't wait up for me. I don't get lonely. Get it like I'ma get it like 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 get it like I'ma get it like.
No, that was the most epic fail ever. I tried to tab back in and I accidentally muted it. We gotta rewind for that. You guys can yell at me though. That was sad.
Like, get it like I'ma get it like get it like I'ma get it like get it like I'ma get it like get it like I'ma get it like.
Okay, this is very interesting. I really like the style of this overall. I would say for me the melody is in some places a little weird on the drop, but the style of this overhaul is like super nice. The drum section overall is pretty good. I'd say really my big like thing here is like reverb control. So I think the lead needs a bit of reverb. Just the space in the drop, as good as it is to have it dry, it feels a little too too dry. Like I think a little bit of just like short reverb on some of the leads and stuff will help make it feel when you're in the club like a little more, I don't know, atmospheric and like really vibey. At least for me, I'm just missing a bit of reverb in some places. Like on the main lead, 10-15% of like a very short reverb would be enough. Just make sure that when you do the reverb, you're actually cutting a lot of the, you know, at least up to 1K. Because it's supposed to be very clubby, you don't want any of that stuff interfering with the dry signal. You really just want it for the more high-end vocals and stuff. Reverb control. 2.13 hertz. What's happening down there? 2.13 hertz stripes. Other thing is you can find some extra like shuffles in here that will weave in really well. Also, these need reverb. These really badly need reverb. Like, let them be super breathy. Don't let them be dry, so that when they're dry, they're actually hitting. Because right here, it kind of just like, I don't know. I this would feel very weird in a club. I feel like I'd just be like, why? Like, it feels like there's supposed to be drums here if it's completely dry. I should just add like a reverb, like bam, bam, bam. It'll be like atmospheric, and it'll be cool after the, you know, the drums or the drop has ended. It'll be nice change of pace. Okay, chat, this is the most unhinged I've ever seen you. This is this is actually wild. Hormone therapy is related to the day you pass out. Hormone therapy. What hormones? That's the real question. You guys filling me with like the stuff they give to cows, or those are my big things. I think the vocal as well could be cooler. Could have some cooler layers to it. Other than that, it's like a pretty good job. I think some extra mastering and like making the track a bit fatter could be cool. But other than that, I don't have much more to say. See, but this is a lie. I don't get annoyed by the 1045th meme. I get annoyed by the first meme. I'm joking. I like all the memes. Alright, let's take a listen. Asta and Fu Eddie remix. Let's go.
Cứ quên anh vậy đi, nhăn nhở sương tan ái anh mây trôi buồn những mùi hôn chìm sâu, còn đâu nụ cười tầng mây đó. Cứ xa anh vậy đi, đừng mong sức kia dẫn lối đôi chân lẻ loi. Ôi, anh lẻ loi mưa ra nhẹ rơi, mưa đêm vàng, xuân tan bóng đêm. Ngày nào anh là đầu màn, đêm chia hai giấc mơ, dòng nước mắt không còn thở ơ, đàn câu ca sao bên đôi. Em lặng im, lặng đi sương gió vô vai.
Super cool. I really like the stuttering and then into the drums. Super cool drum fills in here. I will say for me, the only thing I actually don't like here is like the fourth bar feels very hard to follow. So I would say really figure out what turnarounds, like some turnarounds that maybe work a bit better, because the ones you have here feel a bit confusing. It just feels a bit random. How to make Asunder be like money. Do they make money off of any of their stuff? Because I mean, I think people really only stream it on SoundCloud. Remove vocal chop reverb. I mean, I don't hear vocal chop reverb that's like crazy bothering me, but you could try turning it off, I guess. You could also have it stutter. You could make these stutters way more sharp if you turn off the reverb. But overall, that's really it. I mean, you guys are already going crazy with it. Maybe, I don't know what it is, but I'd like something that's a little more like cinematic of an intro. So like maybe filtered strings or something, because it kind of just something just filtered, creating an atmosphere. Because right now it's just very dry and like there's not a whole lot going on. Maybe even just some texture just for this area. You know, have like a reverb, not a reverb, a rain sample, or like some sort of Atmos sample just for this section. Could be nice to, you know, have something before the track starts to actually get going. Alright, next track. Before you go, ID. Why? I feel bean. Monstercat. I like that you put this in the order. Monstercat.
Took so long for me to find you. I just need a reminder before you go. It's when our hearts get separated. Crash and burn is all I ever know. I can't try to replace this feeling. I close my eyes and it's you that I'm seeing. One more thing before you go. One more thing before you go. One more thing before you go. One more thing before you go.
I definitely think you've made some improvements here. I would say though, get rid of this.
Took so long for me to find you. It's when our hearts get separated. Crash and burn
Just remove
is
this
all.
like 7-8 seconds, or do stuff in it because this part's too long. You don't need this piece. It's just a vocal and a Reese. And if you really think that you're gonna like go for Monstercat with this, you need to make sure that every second is like really interesting and like moving forward. The other thing, this transition needs to be really impressive and like impactful, and like you need to be building up that transition like at least 4 bars beforehand, or maybe 2 bars is like already like appropriate to like really start building, so that you have like an impact and it goes into this build, and the build already has like an energy to it that's like, okay, hey, we're going into like the next section, and like get excited for a drop, because here you kind of just start playing snares. The Reese is also still playing, and in my opinion, it should be a sub drop, and the Reese is gone, so that you actually leave space for the drums to work. And again, we're moving into the next section where you don't have the Reese, so I don't think you should have it here. In my opinion, if you do this vocal chop thing the whole way through, it's going to end up really boring as well. You need to change it up and have fills and turnarounds that will be exciting. The core of your track is really good. This idea is like kind of Skrillex-y type of vocal chops is good, but it can't be just that. If this is all the track is, then it's not going to do well. Also, I am being like more critical of this track because you keep putting Monstercat. So if you wanted to go Monstercat, I'm going to treat it like somebody who really wants to go Monstercat with it, because that's what it takes. It's like going to be very hard to get Monstercat if you don't make the track like perfect. Perfect. I feel paling fish. I mean, to be honest and realistic. That's true, Vitae. Not like this, for sure. I don't even know if this idea is stuff that Monstercat is interested, but I mean, hey, you could spend months on this and like get it to a point theoretically where it's like really Monstercat worthy. I won't tell you what is and isn't possible. But yeah, that's the stuff I would say work on and focus on. Obviously, make the full arrangement of the track too. Next, Kinetic Remix, Melodic Dubstep. Let's go. That sounds cool. Like a giant stack wobbling. Overall, it's a cool foundation, but in my opinion, it's really missing like a lead or something, because it's just chords and then like some guitar fills. I also not sure what it is. I don't know if it's the guitar or if it's the chords you're using, but something about them doesn't feel like they work together super well. Or like the notes of the guitar fills feels very different vibe. Feels like a little too dark and like edgy for the other chords that you have going on here. In my opinion, I would have changed the chords. Keep the edgy, darker stuff, and then change the chords of your saws. Go bigger. Go bigger. I love a chicken sandwich. Sidechain is a bit fast, and there's some extra high frequencies. Yeah. There's a lot of highs, though, typically in melodic dubstep, so that's sort of normal. Alright, bye, Dirty Octopus. That's really my feedback. It's just like, also the snare's kind of weird. You know, I think you could have picked a better snare with a little more impact. That would have, it just feels a little too like rock-y of a snare. And I think something less acoustic and a little more digital would have fit better with the chords you have going on. Major Valerant vibes. Alright, let's see. Oh, you sent this to me, Vitae. This is cool. Let's see if, I don't know if you did any changes, but I really like the setup you have going here. I think a really like mysterious Guy Arthur type of drop would work super well on this. I mean, I told you this in DMs, but like overall an Arcane League of Legends sound will work really well for this. I think really for me the ARP just doesn't sound mysterious enough. It needs to be darker, like it just doesn't sound mysterious enough to me. Asunder. Yeah, I'm envious that they get their Asunder sample sounding so juicy. Yeah. Other than that, like, yeah, you know, in like 12 months when Doc Store, you know, add something to it, let me know, and we can listen to it again. The vocal's not that good. Unlucky. Let's listen. The chords sound so like happy. Guys, this is cool. Original vocal. I'm gonna pause here and give some feedback on the drop. One, it sounds really boomy. Two, the lead is okay, like the melody is okay, but I think the lead you could do way more stuff with. And most importantly, is needs counter melodies really badly. You have a lot of spaces. You might have heard me like ad-libbing some stuff at the end, where you have spaces to just add extra little like you know, one shots or a chord fill or like a little descending melody or ascending melody or whatever you want. But like take advantage of the spaces that you already have on the track with your melody and like do stuff with them because, you know, it'll sound cool. And if it feels too crowded, you may want to consider trimming back some of the original melodies so you can fit more other different stuff in there. It doesn't always need to be the same melody going through and through. And where is he doxed with his unpublished tracks? I've heard a bunch of them. They're just like sitting on his folder. Like, they're just chilling. Yeah, I know a lot of, I've heard a lot. Some of the best Future Bounce tracks have like just never come out. Like some of the stuff that Dalek has on his hard drive is like criminal. He did post it in his ID mixtape, but then he had to retract it for some reasons. But yeah, Future Bounce, dead genre. Nobody making. Yeah, Connor Ross for real. Bro moved on, but his stuff is still some of the most classic. Put this, if you're gonna do this, put it on the different synth. Don't put it on the lead synth. You don't need to. You can make a new sound and make it more interesting. Yeah, if you just do that, it'll already sound much better. Yeah, I think that replace that with chord fills, replace it with a different sound. You don't really get much out. You don't get much mileage out of the sounds that you're using there. It just kind of sounds like it's okay, but it's not really emotional. So if you replace that with chord fills or anything else, it'll sound cool. I'm gonna start sounding like a broken record. I find it hilarious, by the way, that Doxed is like getting people to sign a petition so he'll release his Future Bounce tracks. I mean, that's like one way of doing promo. Why is the mid bass wider than the lead? Ah, yes, the age-old question. Zenvo is? What? Oh, is it like Zenvo's petition? That's really funny. Why? Interesting. I mean, I guess if he really wants to hear them, then I respect it. Melody Bounce, not Future Bounce, guys. Let's not get it twisted. It's Melody Bounce.
Last time, thought you said this was the wrong place, wrong time. I look back and see a cold heart, cold smile in this fire burning so hot for so long. Sometimes I feel like I'm living in my sorrows, heartaches and hard times, just waiting for a moment. Can't think I'll press rewind like everything you said was fine. I'm going crazy all the time and I can't help but lose my mind. Sometimes I feel like I'm living in my sorrows, heartaches and hard times, just waiting for a moment. Can't think I'll press rewind like everything you said was fine. I'm going crazy all the time and I can't help but lose my mind.
The Future Bounce. Bro forgot to mute the tracks before exporting. Interesting little fills here. I'm sorry, there's not much for me to say here. This is a very, you've walked down the beaten path. the sounds are very generic. You can mix these better. More distortion, tweak the layers, make sure you're removing resonances that sound bad. So just focus on the stuff that sounds really, really good. Overall, I don't know why you have these like dirty palm basses here. The drums are way too loud. I don't know if the kick is like doubled for some reason, but it's like clipping really hard. Why the dirty palm thing? Vocal as well as somehow is super generic. So I would change it for something else, or at least change the form and do something weird with the processing. That's kind of it. First time actually using a vocoder. The first time. Okay, let's see. See what you made with the vocoder. That sounds very like weirdly kind of satisfying in my ears. Gökhan, who sent it? I don't know. A good question. Did not check. Let's see who sent the. Yeah, it's sent. It's sent, guys. The real sense. Overall appears like really good. If you learn. I would say with Vocode, I'm assuming you're using Vocodex. If not, if you're using just like a regular vocoder, grab Vocodex and play around with it because it's very good. You'll get some pretty cool results out of it. Yeah, vocoders are just like, weird. You'll get cool results out of them. Try doing things in the wrong order. It's the only advice I can say. Why is there a pen down here? Yay! Triangle Alliance closing out the stream. Very, very nice. So, without further ado, let's give it a play. Second guessing.
I don't wanna keep on second guessing, 'cause guessing is useless. Keep on second guessing, 'cause guessing is useless. But where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Yeah.
Where do we go? 'Cause guessing is useless. I don't wanna keep on second guessing, 'cause guessing is useless. Keep on second guessing, 'cause guessing is useless.
OTT much?
But where do we go
Interesting.
from here?
Make that color stuff way louder. Like, make it way, way louder. If you're gonna have it in there, you should commit to it and make it like really a big part of the track. Because the color chords will actually make the track sound unique. Like, you kind of have established like using these type of leads and sounds. So in a way, it's sort of your own style. But in my opinion, the melody's okay in some parts. I think there's a lot of places like in like the second and third bars especially. It's just like you could use a lot of like tweaking and stuff, and you think you can get much better melodies. Especially if you weave it in with other sounds. But if you want to stay like hard committed to the one lead bounce type of thing, then yeah, you really do need to get a even more banging melody. Is this the last track? Yeah, it's gonna be the last track. Future Browns Never Dies, Siggy. Yeah, I don't know. The breaks as well. If you're gonna keep the I don't want to keep you second guessing, make them short as hell, so that we don't have to hear it for too long. What's going on here, bro? Why is it so like OTT'd and like overdone? I'm asleep, bro. Good night. Yeah, I'm gonna sleep too. I'm tired. You can like really easily fix this. Like put some strings in here or something. Something that's not super typical bouncy stuff. You don't need to do like super OTT things. You can do other things. You are allowed to do other things. All right. I am very sleepy, chat, and I am ready to go to el bed. El bed. Thank you very much for coming to the stream. To the few of you who have stayed till the end. Thanks for sending cool IDs. We heard a lot of like sort of generic future bounce today, but that's okay. We got some other cool tracks as well. And with that, I wish you all the best, and I'll see you guys again next week. Revive the old style of future bounce, and I could revive and unalive the new. Yeah, maybe you should just like do new stuff. Do new stuff, guys. Alrighty. Good night, everybody. Bye. Bye bye.